Yeah.
Political persecution. Is he a political prisoner?
Two sides of the coin.
Okay.
Nyabema obiaka so a political prisoner no. History. Say ono why one person bia NDC ba bam bia na.
When we say Wontumi asem na ha, ne no ama ne so ama.
Yeah. I mean Chinese say two things.
Okay.
Say obi beka so a political prisoner. Nyama mienu bi. The first thing is history about ono Wontumi ankasa as a person. And you ask yourself the question, say, Adentina NDC nkwane ba mu a the only person who mutu omani sinu so yo no. Kai 2013. Ya gen excavators, ya shibi. Ya say ni niam bebree. Wo kai so court. Court fine man no. Judgment death kra pie mu. Say kwan a ban ne fa so a oje ne niam ne say no enfa kwan pa so. He was supposed to get compensation from it. Now, fast forward. Second thing about obi akasa ade akoso ye political ne ye. Louis say ye case na judgment mba ya. Wa odi ye, wa oti akire. Clerks o hwanyu obi anim nya judge na beka. But Wontumi die kai hu say nanka 3rd of July nanka the initial judgment ebeba. Ana cancer attach ya be mu a or ask for extension ema ye man kwan. Now, before judgment, yenya NDC for any abayin we mu hu nipa bebrea. Omo tigu social media, omo kan say niomate any niomunim de Wontumi beko prison. Tienie. Ebi kura kan say Wontumi de kwan bia so because time na beba so 3rd July no. Walk up no de obehwe won samom. There was one man ni Amafio or something. Ono kra de adjudita maklo ebe posti wona yi na say massa delete this post because he being a lawyer he knew say such comments are prejudicial. Say yenya hu ne e wo judge trimu no eye den na wo party follower party faithful foot soldier utimi ehu ne judge beka beforehand eka say from what I am hearing dear Wontumi will watch the World Cup from Nsawamu. And you know, social media, I can give you a lot of poster. Na eye prejudicial. Echere say, if you need to fear NDC for home, echere say, Wontumi cost roba for more obey them. Based on this, somebody will be right to say, politically, he was witch hunted.
Yeah.
Legally, judge ni nye boni bia, in my opinion. Emrano, I can't sing. Wontumi pa de na waye. Medican catcher say mining act, both the original and the amended ni nyina no. MPP time ne buy. Because the original is 2006, the amended is 2019. Now, akwesi Emrane say over section 14.1 na of Act 701 na, as amended by section 3 of 2019. Or say Mema all right now Wontumi say kona kwaye mining o baby a Wontumi mfa sa right ni mo bi emreko a ummo minister mane for approval. It could be express approval from the minister. Now, what it means is obi tina baby ka say Wontumi has been jailed for illegal mining. Sa nipa no onim ni awoka. Wontumi has never been jailed for illegal mining. Because Emrana Nkasa na ye DJ Wontumi no never said say Odema obi koye illegal mining. Or so the komo obi ye mining without permission.
Could be any form of
it could be any form of mining. And don't let us get it twisted. What it means is at the time before the person will give another person right, you know, that original person, you know, has the backing of the law because our license.
Yeah.
We should into akunta mining. Our license to mine at that territory.
Yes. Yeah. And then he is even a large scale miner.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not even a small
scale miner. Small scale miner.
Yeah.
And during the trial,
that's was friend illegal miner.
One of the first
people
thing,
Martin people. It's a lawyer of the caliber. It me say Martin, your friend say, Wontumi abeyi gold. Our TV show, it was illegal miner. How do you speak like this as a lawyer?
Now, the truth of the matter, he said, even at the start of the trial, in considering the evidence, the license was marked as Exhibit J, which the judge asked Deputy Attorney General Sremsai, say, do you have any problem with the license? He said, no, there's no problem with the license. And let's get that fact well. Say, Akunta Mining is in law a proper mining company.
Thank you.
Backed by the law to do whatever activities they were doing there. Now, Esan say, Emrano, say, Ode Ekoma Obia, Etiamrano, without the permission of the minister. Na say, Emrano say, Biana, one shedan famano, ba Obuano, o supporteno, o instigate who AD in giving that concession to the person, normally 99 to be in a buy. And no, make the charge of abetment under Act 29.
Aiding and abetment.
And make it because Adebia and Yawn said that about Obua Obi encourage Obi, facilitate Obi money, no, quack or say, oh, abeti, into Hono and Susono, a betcho. Now, before the amendment, the minimum sentence would have been 5 years. And the amended act took it to 15 years.
By the MPP.
Very harsh punishment, in my opinion. Very, very
Tell me when the morning here, because media for say illegal mining.
Yes, who say, the mrebi ba beso illegal miners mu, na bomu hu, na yes, Oman Dan Dream who say, Oman bit me aso one kasa. Luis, what is the case and the fact? The fact is that people have been arrested. 2 people.
3. Okay, one is on the run.
Since they said the justice catch and say, one say poster. Or say on more attorney general, they don't even believe that entry is a proper person. Now, want to be creating just for direct.
Don't we hear any want to me? That of what say.
It's not there. So see, they won't even waste time to force investigation. That does not even exist.
Want to me fresh anti-regime.
Now, Luis, want to me. Sani patu ya chiomi. Yako chiomo Akunta Mining concession so.
Yes, Henry Inkum and then Michael. I see
near chino.
Okay.
And I used to say no, maybe may employee or may Juma will be a friend Henry Okum. Henry Okum. And Tino Pacho Momko friend on Mumusano. Cause media of a Majuma may Juma. Yafa Henry Okum. Yafa I see. Even before trial, AG goes into a plea bargain with them, announces the matter. It is either you become an accused or you become a prosecution witness. Either say, Obeye, Oma Yachi Oma, Medi Omo court, Amayedi Oma 2 nibi. And answer Obeba Bedi a dance ya mame. Nani pebi a meshesheno no, mensa bekano.
Won't you mean American? No.
Indirectly, what it means is, won't you mean a meshesheno? And yawo. Inti se o pese, uhu, fa bebo me. Nedi a dance ya mame. Mejao. Ohone ma Wontumi manager no eyisi mu ba abonten beka se enkwan de. Omo abusua or hwe ne selfish interest ho. Ontimi nkodi adanse ma Wontumi ma yemfa ne nkotomo no so wo yere ne ma. Na
Wontumi ne yere ne ma.
Wontumi de ba yi. Krofo aye demonstration ye free Wontumi wan hunu free eyisi. Wan hunu free.
Okay.
Enti no.
Yes, a case there.
Wontumi ntrase ma o yeso dwen ne ho. Nti obeba koye prosecution witness ama state no. Yadi asem ne hyehye so no. Luis ye busa Okum say, "Masa, sa mining na wo ye wo no, ya nka se sa illegal mining no. Sa mining na wo ye wo Akunta Mining concession so no. Mine de ma wo. O say bo me pa cho papa bi e friend no Bernard Ntwibo si Akunta de ma me. No say Wontumi wo say an. No de ma wo sen. No say o de ma me say minua kube ma no na menya reclamation na watututu baabi a tokro ho na ode ma me obisa me sa no me so me bisa ne se na chairman oho na ase me nkoy reclamation sika ben na me de be ana o kire me se o part bi wo ha me mine ye enti ko mine ho no na de sika no
atua wa wo ya no akata so ani ye frɛ chairman se chairman bra papa bi se una ode o right na ode concession ode ama no se won koye sa na ye no kure no se ha o eh no kure se me de ama no ba me amfa ma ne se onko tu man no me de ma ne se onko dua ku benye no onkatakata mra na e wo ho so no emma me papa ne se oboa me enye sa netie isan se me kra no me ye small scale miner me license ye small scale miner until from day one unim se me ye miner me ndua ku benkata eyiso we adanse anipa ni dia tia chama Wontumi na chese bone of contention akoye no kure se wo de ma ne sa ana onfa ma ne sa Luis enunti the first thing I see ebusa ye ho ne say agreement no mo call ne say nkwa. Then Wontumi says that look, busa no musa ne say me ne na ya agreement bi asensan say me ma no I assign me part bi ama no wo ho ana. Man say oh there be agreement pa di agreement die wa ama me bi. Paper say yes sensan die. Me ni bi wo ho na asema me ne kan nyina no eye me ne no ya no bye. This is why I have a problem with the judge. And this is why I have the problem with those who think the judge is correct. Of course, law there were two sides. And untina lawyer for me untina court argue. Send ya odwen no anya sa na me so be dwene. Enti ye wetima my one article but different interpretation from people. Enti to those who believe that I had a problem, Louis, the law says that an assignment or any instrument affecting land should be in writing.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. Emrana nkasa na odi gina so aba bechi Wontumi no. Say the person ought to go for if nipa ni person obey boni a, so call for ministerial approval.
Yeah.
Enti question na mi busa ne say law no envisage just oral enkomo a. How can a minister give an approval to incommodi akoso onipa mienu orally?
Abraham minister
no ni ho.
Yeah, I get it.
So it means that, in my opinion, the law envisage say it should be something that should be brought formally before the minister in a written form for the minister to consider
and respond
whether or not an approval will be given to it or not, and not just a mere conversation or a parole contract, which is oral contract. In my opinion, and Wontumi was from day one trying to let the court understand say. What they make was to samrana wrong. Just say me ni emrana say assignment. Me so me nye any assignment. I have done an oral thing. Yes, it could be true. Or no say me say uncle mine, me say your mine here. But the point in say assignment krano me money be me ne nye bibi asa. But the court said okay. Evidence be any manim. Say assignment be or hard assignment be any. Accept mo de mano na akasa. Sisi me ni evidence be a me begina so. Enti sadi a megina ne friend of circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence are pieces of evidence brought together to arrive at only one logical conclusion. Akwesi, ya sorry anopai Louis, obi akum Louis a wadwane ko. Ya hu ne okun no. But atari a na ehye Louis on the day no, ye hia Akwesi Mensah moja. Wa hye sa atade na moja wo ewo Akwesi Mensah ho.
Circumstance no.
Sikan a ye ka se nipa ne di awu no. Ya hu se Akwesi Mensah sikan ekura moja wa no. Obi nso se ohun se on the day no Akwesi Mensah pie fi Louis dem ho. Ya nkoto Akwesi se ogina ne ho wo. But say you put this pieces of evidence together. Circumstances together. We will now come to arrive at only one conclusion. Say, and na Akwesi ne.
I don't know your friend say 70 a you try 70 bia na yede.
Ya dance here.
Okay.
Louis, what I'm saying assembly here. Until you can't fault the judge here because there's no evidence on whether there is an assignment or anything or whether it is true. The purpose for which our money call honest on quiet mining into the circumstantial evidence.
Yeah, papa, because who evidence or better no book no evidence.
Some can people because incarceration of 20 years and
you see, that is where the political twist comes.
Oh, come on. It's all political.
Because then but who is doing even the case? It is the state.
The political party.
No one motive or the into on one meka say other way around we are bet me ask for more time for investigation. Nanka aboa but on one penny e beboa unti no obeka say obeko so near rely on circumstantial. Inti judge ni say okay in cross examination ye bisa questions. Na senya mine a ana na osi won koya ade na woka so onkoya reclamation one first kan ka ho ama no wantu anika. Na just say u say wo catch ni say one man is cannot confirm nipa na session no making say one man is because okay say won come mine. That's one. Me ba what I say.
Yeah.
Number 2, nipa na side ya dance here in court say niema bulldozers ne excavators a me de koye no. Eye wo ana odi manim kra ma me kototoye. Wontumi denied in cross examination and said man do anim I only gave you a contact
of people you can go to.
That you can go to. Enti ebiem o say o catch any so nkodua kubi. Now this concession man so ndua kube no one kasa if that time no okọ say odua kube say there be since 2022 banyina kra jama me ankasa me nko hoda Louis so oten komo na say in the mind of the court and the judge now puts all these pieces of
evidence together and now comes to the conclusion, say, then it is true. Say, oh, the man, so on your mining, and not just two. Because, say, oh, and in fact, another circumstantial evidence, the security that was even provided for them was written on a Akunta mining letterhead by you. You want to me. And I'm a letter. Into Muanka Sakra Namusa provide you security. Kubena no more ya. Oh, security for them. Again, now who provide the security?
A mining concession.
If it's not mine, it's what I'm saying. Adena kwakoye. It's judge ni put you together. This is the conclusion. Then another issue there. Say, lose your time, kakra.
Sure, we have a lot.
Another issue there has to do with, okay, some say Wontumi because nipa ne dey dance no di nyina no. Or say ono dey onim Akunta mining. Ni onim na na ye Wontumi because senior counsel Atachia raised a very important legal issue. Say. Second penny no na yama no concession. Yama Wontumi license o. Akunta mining na yama no license. It is so be the right amo obi a. Akunta mining na dey right no ama nipa no. And then na obeha chairman Wontumi.
Ono copy civil no.
Enti no ohona corporate veil asem ne bam. And the corporate veil simply means that upon incorporation of a company, the company becomes a legal and a separate entity.
Yeah.
It is treated as a natural person. And that company, because it's treated as a natural person,
it can be
sealed and can sue.
Yeah.
So that the company ni kodi bonia, even though our directors and shareholders,
you have to hold the company.
Yeah, holding the directors liable. You be hold the company nankasa liable. Nemum send any remuno. To every rule, there is an exception.
Okay.
And there are exceptions be or her, where the directors themselves have committed the crime on their personal basis, like fraud, misbehavior, and other things, we will have to lift that veil. And to mana idea cha only company na ebo ho ban. Ye be ye fi ho. Ni ahwehwe director ko a odi saa bone no. Enti if Wontumi wanted to go on a safety under the corporate veil, all he needed to do was to prove that it was the company that did it. Enti in cross-examination, Strike asked a question to him that if you say you are a company, when was the last time you filed your tax returns as a company? He said, I don't know. If you say you are a company, everything that was it done at a director's meeting? Was it done? Do you have any minutes to prove?
Who are the
directors? Do you have shareholders meetings?
Who
are directors?
Who's your auditor?
The other one where I say, oh, one kasa was a very long time in who or cram say, oh, to crime in who ni biem. Directors two per maka anaba akukwa besine unhu ni biem. So the question is, since that time who has been running the company was me. And then they say one running company no as the sole and main controller and handler of the company. And tesa sanity. Nipa so di dance yet ya say me enye company na me da me ne wo ankasa no waye. That means that if you have not run the thing as a company, we judge in the end and you said judge if you have not run the thing as a company, then you cannot get protection from the company. Even company that you one kasa you have not run it as a company.
Yeah,
you have run it as yourself. We have to hold you accountable. It's judge no lefty view no. E peja view no say ya hwe hwan na edi boni. Ya lefty view no so a ya wo penny director waka wo ho. And that is why the court said say we cannot put the blame on Akunta mining, but we have to put it on.
Okay. Can I come in?
Sure.
So let's pause here.
Okay.
Imagine say if everything had been thorough.
Yes.
On the part of Akunta mining and his company.
Yes.
To the point say the company was operating as a company.
Yes.
With directors and everything.
Yes.
In this particular case.
Yes.
And can they no money by Akunta mining as a company?
They would have revoked their license
for 20 years.
Yes. They would have revoked their license
for 20 years.
They would have confiscated companies' assets.
Of that sort has happened though. One of this mining firm that almost suspended my license.
Yeah. That mine for yeah.
What did they do? They know my
mining irregularities.
Very well. So what I'm trying to understand is Oshe the Abba Wontumi so as a person or
as a director.
As a director or didn't say the person the channel.
Yeah.
Enka enye se bia infringements bi wo ho enanka veil no yan left because the outcome. Yes. Because the company is not a human being. Wontumi fa contact mining to prison. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. For example,
remove the license.
Yes. For how company long? Assets that were used to perpetrate those crimes can be confiscated.
Now, how much land no say was has particular concession?
Because I know the minimum.
To as a lawyer.
Okay. Now, Luis, another but may cut the salient point.
Sure.
Another important thing that now comes up is, okay, assuming without admitting, say, reclamation, reclamation is part of what we call mining support services.
Yeah.
Now, when you say mining support services, it's regulated in this country, Anna. Mm-hmm. The answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we have what we call the Mining Support Services Regulation, LI 2174. Now, under that, it requires or mandates anybody who provides mining support services to have to register with the Minerals Commission.
Who comes to register?
Acquire also on your reclamation. So
I was coming there. Now coming Bebusa say, Yewahana, Yedim say, friend say, Ibrahim Mahama, a lot of mining for the big firms. Then come Bebusa say, is it different from, say, either Goldfields? Ibrahim Mahama was doing mostly or literally
support systems.
He was doing all the mining for them.
Yeah.
So they are saying. But Yentimika said there was any written this sort of.
They could have.
Then come Bebusa say, is it different from the assuming say, okay, so assuming now he has been convicted.
Yeah.
The Omodia two Wontumi so no say what the right amount before for so on mining man. Okay. But what the Abemu say, then there's another actor say, was any pan out there man a crowd so no. Let's assume so agents it's like leasing man. Then he has to also be registered somewhere else.
Yes. So if Goldfields contracted Ibrahim Mahama to do mining,
EMP,
what it means is that they have a approval to give some of their concessions to them. Other than that, it would have been a problem.
And the EMP also has the registration to undertake that.
Yes, and I think they were mining for them. Literally said no more mining for. So you mine for them, then they pay you for your work done.
So you see, a question I will be saying, Seba Nanka Henry Okum, NAIC, Ejitu Muse, we are employees of Akunta Mining. There will be no problem. Because they are employees, and it would have seemed like Akunta Mining and already our license did that. Mind you, what's Nipani reclamation? Nipani register, send ye it now flies in the face of Section 59 of Act 703. Say anybody who is providing mining support services who has not registered commits a crime. Unfortunately, that Section 59, what it lacked is it never prescribed the punishment. And the Honor Councillor Tachia raised issue say some of the provisions in the Mining Act doesn't give express punishment, and it flies in the face of Article 1911. Because under Article 1911, it states that a person cannot be punished for a crime that has not been defined in a written law with its punishment prescribed in that same law. Explicitly stated.
Yeah.
Therefore, then why do you want to? Do you understand?
Yeah.
But then the judge says that even though it doesn't give explicit punishment, it mimics the punishment under Section 99 2B of the Act.
Which is
what we have. 20.
I see.
Now, the point again is, don't forget that see the panel reclamation. See, if I saw or mining services on register, but I said nipa na dika dia dance. I said me small scale miner. Until shoot down that argument. Or me no small scale miner.
I'm not a farmer.
I'm not a support service provider. Then the burden is on you to prove. Say,
so what shifted the burden of proof
to Wontumi. Therefore, if the only thing that Wontumi could have done was to now provide a certificate to prove that it is not who provide the miners. You have even registered
this is your certificate.
It's a lie. You are not a man.
The same paper they won't find every.
But there's nothing like that. What I say? So we now come to another interesting part. Say, okay, Nehemiah ye kanyina no. Adena okay, sesani yaka mining support services, yaka sani manema 99 is who support it, who provide it, who buani pani manisa di bonia. I don't see a crime. How are you going to prove say Wontumi support it? Or na kwaneka say number 1, who na mama baby amen ko to niema. Una na mama security. Una na intinache say who support it to carry out. Those are the things that they judge. But for me, Louis, to the extent I will never agree, you matter what.
I am not an epitome of law. I am not a legal luminary.
Nobody is.
But my truth is, the truth of the matter is, to the extent that there was not a written assignment, a legally written assignment or an instrument in a written form, stating that a concession like that has been assigned to the person, taking an oral agreement to mimic an assignment and jail him for that, for me, is wrong.
All right.